Namaste. Okay, it's Garuda Purana again, chapter 9. 48 verses. It's medium sized. Ata Navamotyayah Shri Garuda Uvacha Katitam Papata Samyagadanam Samyagadanama Turakalikam Muriyamanasya Tatakaratiyam Tadidanim Pada Prapo Shri Bhagavanuvacham Shranu Takushya Bravakushya Mi Dehatyagasya Tadavitim Murta Yena Vitanena Sadagatim Yananti Manapah Kalma Yoga Diada Dehi Munchat Munchatiatra Nijam Vipu Papuh Tulasi Sananitao Kuriana Manandalam Komayana Tu Dilam Shijaiba Pikiriata Daipam Shijaiba Binihakushui Patu Sita Payada Nena Shupure Shalagram Ashilam Dada Shaligram Ashilam Yatra Papadosha Paya Paha Tatasanita Namara Tatasanita Namara non Mukutiha Tatasanita Namara non Mukuti Janantoha Mukutil Jananto okay Tatasanita Namara non Mukutil Janantoha Sunishita Tulasi Vita Pachachaya Yatra Sati Pavata Paha Tatraiva Maranan Mukatiha Saivada Dana Dulapa Tulasi Vita Pasatanam Guruhe Yasya Vatishitate Tadaguruham Di Tarupam Hi Na Yananti Yamaking Kirah Tulasi Manjari Yukuto Yasutu Tulasi Manjari Yukuto Yasutu Pranan Bimunchati Yamasatam Nekushuisutum Shakuto Yukutam Papashatairapi Tasya Dalam Mukhe Kurutaba Tila Taipa Sane Murutaha Naro Vishnupuram Yati Putrahi Nopya Samshayah Tilah Pavitra Satripita Taipa Shecha Tulasi Tata Nunam Nivarayanantiete Nivarayanantiete Durgatim Yanantama Turam Mama Sivadama Sudu Puta Yatasate Pavana Sitilah Asura Danapa Daitya Vidrapananti Dilaisetatah Taipa Pipul Tilme Dai Kushir Mama Roma Samud Pavah Tasmat Taspaishana Deva Sabaigam Gajachananti Manapah Kushamule Setito Brahma Kushamatie Janardanahu Kushagre Shangankaro Devasatrayo Devahu Kushe Setitahu Atahu Kushavahani Manantara Tulasi Vipratana Kushavahani Manantara Tulasi Vipratanabahu Kushavahani Manantara Tulasi Vipratanabahu Naite Nilmaliatam Yananti Kriyamanoh Punahu Daipaha Penunduashu Nilmalia Brahmanoh Pratapojane Manantara Kausu Tulasi Hi Naihu Jitayam Ja Hutachanahu Gomayano Palipute tu Dalpa Setarano Samsukurute Putale Hiaturam Kuria Danantari Vivaljayat Brahma Vishnu Shicha Rudra Shicha Salve Deva Hutashanahu Manandolo Pari Deshitananti Tasmat Gulvita Manandolama Salvatra Pasuta Buddha Lepo Yatra Na Vidyate Yatra Lapahu Gurutasatatra Punalepena Shutiati Rakshasa Shicha Pishacha Shicha Putah Purata Yamanugah Alibuta Deshe Kartavaya Manantarikus Kartavaya Manantarikushwe Pishananti Cha Atoguni Hotaram Shradetam Ja Brahma Pojiam Sural Janam Manandolena Vina Pumya Maturam Naiva Karayat Lipta Pumya Matahu Kurutava Sebalnam Ratanam Mukhe Kushui Pat Vishnuho Padam Dakam Tadiya Cha Ligram Asbaru Pinahu Tadiya Cha Ligram Asbaru Pinahu Shaligram Ashila Toyam Yahu Bibedu Binundu Matrakam Sa Salvapa Panil Mukuto Baikunan Pubanam Vrajet Tato Gaganga Jalam Tadiana Mahapatakana Shakam Salvatil Takurtasanadan Salvatil Takurtasanadana Punuya Pala Pradama Salvatil Takurtasanadana Punuya Pala Pradama Janendrayanam Jaridiyasutu Sahasram Kayashotanam Vibediyashajaiva Gamgamam Pahu Samao Siatamupapapi Naganim Prapya Yata Daikushya Tulara Shilvinashyati Tata Gamgamam Bupanena Padakam Pasmasad Pabet 야스투 수리암 슈사는 따뜻함 수리암 슈산 수리암 슈사는 따뜻함 감가야흐 살릴람 바벳 비베트 사 살바요니 빌 닐비 사 살바요니 쇼뇨니 비닐 살바요니 숄 살바요니 비닐 무크타흐 브라야티 사다남 하레흐 잘라바다 잘라바가 하네 나이바 바야야는 뒤따라 자나는 날샤나트 스발샤나트 바나트 따타 강은게티 길티나트 보나디아 보느여는 보르쇼는 샤타쇼타 사스라샤흐 강은가 따스마트 비베트 따스마트 비베트 따시야 잘람 삼사라타라까무 강은가 강은게티 요 부루야트 브라노이흐 부루야트 브라노이흐 가는터 가따이라삐 무르토 비슈누 보람 야티 나 보날자야테 부비 우드그라마드 피시자 야흐 브라너흐 보르셔흐 시라드 타야는 비타흐 지는 따야는 마나사 강은감 소피 야티 바람 까티무 아또 티아야는 나 마드 강은감 삼스마레트 따즈 잘람 비베트 따또 바가바담 김치츠 추루 김치츠 추루 누이야 김치츠 추루 누 김치츠 추루 누야는 먹고 쉬다 약감은 슐로갈 타바담 바 슐로갈 타바담 바 요는 때 바가바담 바투에트 나 다시야 보나라 부르틸 보라하말로카 드까다 짜나 베도파니 쇼담 바터즈 치바 비슈누 바터즈 치바 비슈누 스타바 바터즈 치바 비슈누 스타 바터즈 치바 비슈누 스타 바다피 바터즈 치바 비슈누 스타 바다피 브라흐마나코쇼 브라흐마나코 셔트리야 비샴 마라넘 무구티다 야까무 브라야너 사마예 구리야 다나샤남 카가 다디아드다 두라삼니아스 다디아다 두라사니아 삼 비라크타시아 드비자는 마나흐 삼니아스 따미티 요 부루야트 브라노이흐 가는터가라 가는터가따 이라삐 무르토 비슈누 보람 야티 나 보날자야테 부비 에밤 자타비 타나시아 타이미카시아 따다 카가 울트바츠 치드레너 까츠차는티 브라너 스타시아 수케나 히 무캄 자쿠슈슈이 나세 깔노 드바라누이 사프타 짜 에피아흐 수크르티노 야는티 요기나스탄루 라는트라 요기나스탄루 요기나스탄 트라흐 요기나스탄 룰라는 트라 아빠나는 밀리타 Apana milita prano yadan hi pavataha burtak sukshimi putva tada vayul binishik gramati tututalat shariram patate Pasichan nilgate maruti shibare kalahatam patatieva nirataro yatha durumah nilvicheshitam shariram tu pranoi mukutam jukupusitam asburushyam jayate sadio 둘가는 탐 살바니는 뒷담 드리타 바스타 샤리라시아 그르미 비드 파스마 그르미 비드 파스마루 빠따흐 김 갈바흐 그리야테 데헤 구슈너 비트밤 시필 나라이흐 구슈너 비트밤 시필 나라이흐 버티비아 니야테 버티비 바시자이바 따타 잘레 테자시 리야타 사미라스투 사미라노에 아가샤치자 야타가셰 살바비아비자 장은까라흐 니티아무구토 자가트사 구슈이 드마 데헤시바조 마라흐 살베는들이 아유토 지바흐 샤부다 디비쇼야 야일부르 샤부다 디비쇼 야일부르타흐 까마라가디 피리우크타흐 깔마코샤 사마는 비타흐 보누여바 사나야 유구토 닐미테 스베나 깔마노 브라비샤트사 나베 데헤 그르헤 다그테 야탕아 그르히 다다 비마나다야 김키 누이자 라마리 김키 누이자 라마리마트 아야는 띠 데바두 다시자 라사츠자 마라 라사츠자 마라 쇼피타흐 달마타트 바디다흐 브라지냐 사다 타미카바를라 파흐 다다이남 그루티암 스발비마 네나 나야는 티테 수디비아데호 비라잠은 바라스락 스라크 술발노 라드나 파라노이 루페타흐. Hardest word at the end. I guess the luckier. 비라잠은 바라스라크 수발노 라드나 비라잠은 바라스라크 수발노 비라잠은 바라스바크 수발노 비라잠은 바라스라크 수발노 비라잠은 바라스바크 수발노 스라 너 라드나 비라잠은 바라스라크 수발노 라드나 파라노이 루페타흐 One more. Birajaman para seraku suvaila sera. Birajaman para seraku suvaila ratana paranoi rupetahu. Birajaman para seraku suvaila ratana paranoi rupetahu. One more. Birajaman para seraku suvaila ratana paranoi rupetahu. Dana prapabhatasa mahanupabaha prapunoti na kam surapujyamanaha iti Shri Garuda Puranoe Sarodhatare Muriyamana Kurtya Nirupanam Navamothyayaha. 20 minutes. Not bad. Okay. I'm gonna read the English and then I'll take a break. Did I fix it already? Let me just double check here. Yep, I fixed it. Okay, so here we go. This is the English version. English translation, sorry. Chapter 9, On Account of the Rites for the Dying. Garuda said, You have spoken fully about the gifts for the deceased. Tell now, O Lord, of the rites for the dying. The Blessed Lord said, Listen, O Dharkushya, and I will explain the rites for one leaving the body, and by what rites men after death reach a good condition. When, by the effects of Kaima, the embodied leaves his ordinary body, then near to a holy basil tree one should make a ring with cow dung. Next, having scattered sesamum seed, he should strew daiba grass, and then have the shalagrama stone placed on the cleansed platform. Liberation is certain for the being who dies near the shalagrama stone, which removes all ills and sins. 1 second. Where is the shade of the holy basil tree, which removes the pain of being, there is always liberation for the dying, difficult to obtain by gifts. The house in which the holy basil tree is enshrined is like a holy bathing place. The servants of Yama do not come to it. Yama is not able to see him who gives up his life while having a holy basil shoot, though we have hundreds of sins. The man who dies with a leaf of it in his mouth upon a seed of sesamum and daipa grass goes to the city of Vishnu unfailingly, though he have no son. Sesamums, daipa grasses, and holy basil are three holy things, and they prevent an ailing man from going to a miserable condition. Because the sesamum is produced from my sweat, it is holy, hence asuras, dhanavas, and daityas run away from sesamum. The daipa grasses, my riches, O Dharkushya, are produced from my hairs, hence by the mere touch of them men obtain heaven. Brahma is seated at the root of the kusha grass. In the middle of the kusha is Janardana. At the tip of the kusha is Shankaradeva. The three shining ones are seated in the kusha grass. Hence, kusha, fire, manatras, holy basil, brahmins, and cows do not lose their purity by being used again and again. Daipa grass becomes unclean with rice balls. Brahmins by eating the offerings for the departed. Manatras, cows, and holy basil when basely used, and fire on a cremation ground. One should lay the dying man on the ground, cleanse with cow dung, and spread over with daiba grasses, not support him in the air. Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, all the shining ones, and sacrificial fire stand upon the ring. Therefore should one make a ring. The ground must be pure everywhere, with no stain to be seen. If there is a stain, it should be cleaned away by further plastering. Demons, goblins, elementals, spooks, and the followers of Yama enter an impure place and are cut above the ground. Hence, without this ring, one should not perform oblations to the fire, Shraddha, the feeding of Brahmins, the worship of the holy ones, nor place the dying man upon the ground. Next, placing him on the cleansed ground, one should put gold and jewels upon his lips and give him the water of the feet of Vishnu in the form of Shalagrama. He who drinks even a drop of the water of the Shalagrama stone is absolved from all sins and goes to the residence Vaikuntha. Then one should give him the water of the Ganges, which is the effacer of great sins, and gives fruit of merit equal to bathings and gifts at all the sacred waters. He who performs 1,000 times the Jandrayana fast which purifies his body, and he who drinks the water of the Ganges are both equal. Just as Otarkusha, a bundle of cotton is destroyed by falling into the fire, so by his drinking the water of the Ganges is his sin reduced to ashes. He who drinks the water of the Ganges, heated by the rays of the sun, is free from all births and goes to the abode of Hari. By bathing in other rivers, men are purified. So also by merely touching, drinking, or calling upon the Ganges. It sanctifies meritless men by thousands, hundreds, and thousands. Therefore should one drink of the Ganges, whose water helps one over the ocean of transmigration. He who calls, O Ganges, Ganges, while life is flickering in the throat, goes one dead to the city of Vishnu, and is not born again on earth. And the man who, when his life is leaving, contemplates with faith the Ganges, goes to the highest goal. Therefore he should contemplate, salute, keep in mind the Ganges, and drink its water. Then he should listen, however little, to the Bhagavata, which is a giver of liberation. He who is in his seat, he who is in his last moments, repeats a verse or half or quarter of a verse of the Bhagavata, never returns hither from the world of Brahma. The repeating of the Vedas and the Upanishads, the hymning of Vishnu and Shiva, these bring liberation at death to Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. At the time when the breath is leaving the body, he should make a fast or bird. Dissatisfied with worldly things, the twice-born should take up relinquishment. He who says, while life is still flickering in his throat, I have relinquished, goes at death to the city of Vishnu, and is not born again on earth. Then of him who is righteous and has thus performed the rites, O bird, the light breaths easily pass out through the higher opening. The mouth, eyes, nostrils, and ears are the 7 gateways through which go those of good deeds. Yogins go through an opening in the head. When the rising and descending light breaths, which are joined, become separate, then becoming subtle, the light breath departs from the inner body. When the lower breath departs, the body falls like a tree, unsupported and stricken by time. The motionless body left by the vital breath becomes detestable and unfit to touch. Foul smells soon arise in it, and it is disliked by everybody. How can men who perish in a moment be proud of the body with its 3 conditions, warm, dung, and ashes? Earth is dissipated to earth, likewise water to water, fire is dissipated in fire, also air to air in air, and similarly ether to ether, and the self that is in the bodies is happy, all-pervading, eternally free, witness of the world, birthless and deathless. The individual possessing all the senses, surrounded with sense objects of sound and the rest, clinging to desire and love, and bound by the sheath of karma, endowed with good tendencies, enters a new body created by his own karma, as does the householder whose house has been burnt. Then the messengers of the Shining Ones, resplendent with flashing plumes, arrive, bringing a chariot wreathed with countless bells, and they, knowing the true righteousness, wise, always beloved by the righteous, carry him who has performed the rites away in their own chariot. That great man in a resplendent body with shining garments and garlands, possessed of gold and diamond ornaments, by virtue of gifts attains heaven, and is honored by the holy ones. Okay. Take a little break here. Okay, I'm back. So now it's Bhagavata, Book 1, Chapter 136. Let it be short, please. Medium. 3 verses in a shloka. Long verses. Namaste. Pura su jieshitam nichira pyam purahanan namo habyam matim parata murula muruloyad murulo muruloyad pyam sivadishitam muruloyad pyam ta samuraja kruta suti yajinya upasututa Atainoha Kushatram na Kutashecha Kutashechana Kutashechana Turushwe Devatevam Nu Jida Turushwe Adashi Gatururabe Gatururabe Pariyasi Pananta Vatasya Samayamsita Rashimi Pishita Kushul Rashimi Pishita Kushul Pagasiya Rashimi Pishita Kushul Pagasiya Rashimi Pihu Diu Kusham Mitrasya Sadana Mariam Nuo Varunasya Cha Ata Tatate Purahadugutiam Vaya Upasututiam Purohadvayahu Jyotishmati Maditim Tarayat Tukushuitim Tarayak Tukushuitim Svavati Ma Sachete Dive Jagrabam sa Dive Jyotishimat Tokushoya Jyotishimak Tokushatrama Jyotishimat Jyotishimat Matokashara Jyotishimat Jyotishimat Kachram Tukashwetram Jyotishimat Mataka Jyotishimat Kashwet Jyotishimat Kashwetrat Mashate Jyotishimak Mataka Jyotishimat Kushwa Jyotishimat Kushwatram Jyotishimat Kushwatrama Shato Jyotishimat Takata Jyotishimak Mataka Jyotishimat Katrama Jyotishimat Kushwatra Jyotishimat Kushwatrama Shate Jyotishimat Kushwatrama Shate Jyotishimat Kushatra Jyotishimat Kushat Jyotishimat Kushatrama Shate Aditya Tanunasabati Mitrasitario Barunuo Yata Yaji Janol Yata Yaji Janoriama Yata Yaji Janahu Ayam Mitraya Barunoya Shamtamaho Shomo Putva Neshiva Pago Devo Deveshiva Pagahu Tam Devaso Jushue Ratan Vishive Adiyan Sajoshotahu Tata Rajana Karato Yadi Maha Rotabana Yadi Mahe Yo Mitraya Parunoya Biti Jujano Nalbanam Barunoya Vitaj Barunoya Vitaj Jano Barunoya Vitaj Janona Barunoya Vitaj Janonal Barunoya Vitaj Barunoya Vitaj Janol Nalbanam Barunoya Vitaj Janol Nalbanam Jano Barunoya Vitaj Jano Barunoya Vitaj Jano Nalbanam Barunoya Vitaj Jano Nalba Barunoya Vitaj Jano Nalbanam Tam Nano Nalbanam Param Pari Pato Amhaso Dashivat Dashibam Sam Maltamam Hasaha Tamariyama Pi Rakushati Diariu Rakushat Diariu Ju Yanan Tamanu Yakushat Diariu Ju Yanan Yakushat Diariu Ju Tai Ju Yananta Rakushat Diariu Ju Yananta Manu Yakushat Diariu Ju Yan Rakushat Diariu Ju Yananta Manu Rakushat Diariu Ju Yananta Manu Pratamu Ukutairia Enoho Paripushati Pratam Sutomaira Pushati Pratam Namo Tibe Purahate Rodasi Piam Mitraya Pocham Parunoya Mir Hushue Sumurluikaya Mir Hushue Inendra Magani Mupa Sutuhi Diukushamariam Manam Pagama Yogaji Banantaha Parajaya Sachemahi Somasioti Sachemahi Uti Devanam Yaba Minendra Bananto Mamsi Mahi Subayashaso 마루드 피흐 아그늘 밑으로 바루노흐 샬마 얌사는 다다시야마 마카바노 바얌 바짭 나마스테 Bring adoration, ample and most excellent hymn, offerings to the watchful twain, the bountiful, your sweetest to the bounteous ones. Sovereigns adore with streams of oil and praise that every sacrifice. Their high imperial might may nowhere be assailed, never may their Godhead be assailed. For the broad sun was seen a path more widely laid, the path of holy law hath been maintained with rays, the eye with Paga's rays of light. From set in heaven is Mitra's home, and Aryaman's and Baruna's. Thence they give forth great vital strength, which merits praise, high power of life that men shall praise. With Aditi the luminous, the celestial upholder of the people, come ye day by day, ye who watch sleepless, day by day. With splendid might have ye obtained Adityas, lords of liberal gifts. Movers of men, mid both, are Mitra Varuna, mover of men is Aryaman. The Soma be most sweet to Mitra Varuna. He in the drinking feast shall have a share thereof, sharing a god among the gods. May all the gods of one accord accept it joyfully today. Therefore do ye, O kings, accomplish what we ask, ye righteous ones, whatever we ask. Whoso with worship serves Mitra and Varuna, him guards it carefully, uninjured, from distrust. Guard from distrust the liberal man. Aryaman guards him well, who acts uprightly, following his law, who beautifies their service with laws, who makes it beautiful with songs of praise. Worship will I profess to lofty Dyaus, to heaven and earth, to Mitra and to bounteous Varuna, the bounteous, the compassionate. Praise Anandara, praise thou Agni, praise Paga and heavenly Aryaman. Long may we live and have attendant progeny, have progeny with Soma's help. With the gods' help, with Indra still beside us, may we be held self-splendid with the Maruts. May Agni, Mitra, Varuna give us shelter. This may we gain, we and our wealthy princess. I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, I'm back. Soga Sutra Patanjali, starting from Book 3, Sutra 15. Kramanyatvam parinamanyatve hetuha. Namaste. Ekasya tamino eka eva parinama iti prasakute. Number 1. Prasakuteha Kramanyatvam parinamanyatve hetul pavati iti Tadiata Julna murta penanda murda kata murta kapala murta kara kana murditi Julna murta penanda Julna murta penanda murda Julna murta penanda Julna murta Julna murta penanda murda kata murta kapala murta kana murditi almost Julna murta penanda murda kat Julna murta penanda Julna murta penanda murda kat Julna murta penanda Julna murta penanda murda kata murta kapala murta kana murditi Julna murta penanda murda Julna murta penanda murda kat Julna murta penanda Julna murta penanda murda kata murta kapala murta kana murditi. One more. Julna murta penanda murda kat Julna murta penanda murda kata murda ka Julna murta penanda murda kata murda Juna murata penanda murata kata murata kapala murata kana muratiti. Juna murata penanda murata kata murata kapala murata kana muratiti. Juna murata penanda murata kata. Juna murata penanda murata. Juna murata penanda murata kata murata kapala murata kana muratiti. I'm gonna leave it. Juna murata penanda murata kata murata kapala murata kana muratiti. Ja gramaha. 요 냐시야 달마시야 사마나는 따로 달마흐 사 다시야 그라마흐 베는더흐 브라치아바테 카트 우파자야타 이티 달마파리너 마크라마흐 라쿠쇼노 파리너 마크라모 카토시아나 가타파바드 발타마나 카토시아나 가타파바드 발타마나 파바흐 Number 2 파바그라마 파바그라마흐 Okay. Cartesiana gata pabad Cartesiana gata pabad baltamana pabas gramaha Cartesiana gata pabad baltamana pabagramaha Tata binundasia baltamana pabadati tapabaha Gramaha Baltamana Pabadati Tapaba Gramaha Nati Tasya Sati Gramaha Kasmat Pulva Parata Yam Satyam Samananantaratabam Sa Tu Na Satyati Tasya Tasmadeva Yoreva Lakushono Yoho Gramaha Tata Basata Parino Makramopi Kartasya Pinavasya Puranante I'm gonna double check this. Puranante Puranota Turusyate Sacha Kushana Paramam Para Nupatina Gramena Pibiajiamana Param Vyakadimadya Vyakadima Padyata Iti Taimalakashono Pyam Cha Pishishutoyam Turati Yah Parinoma Iti Ta Ete Grama Taimi Pede Sati Pratilab Tasbaru Bah Taimi Pavatianya Taimasbaru Pa Pekushoyati Yada Tu Paramal Tato Taiminuya Pedopachara Taiminuya Pedopachara Stadva Tvareno 타이미 누여 페도 바짜라스타드 타바레노 드바레노 타이미 누여 페도 바짜라스타드 드바레노 one more 타이미 누여 페도 바짜라스타드 드바르레노 타이미 누여 페도 바짜라스타드 드바레노 타이미 누여 페도 바짜라스타드 드바레노 드바레 라드바레 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 타이미누여 페도 바짜라드바레노 타이미누여 페도 바짜라스 타이미누여 페도 바짜 페도 타이미누여 페도 바짜라스 드바 타이미누여 페도 바짜라드바레노 타이미누여 페도 바짜라드바레노 사 에바 피티야테 탈마스타다 야메카트 베나이바 탈마스타다 야메카트 베나이바 그라마흐 브라티아바 파사테 치트타시아 드바예 탈마흐 파리드르셔터 시장 타트라 브라티아야 드마카흐 파리드르셔터 바스투마트라 드마카 우파리드르셔터 때자 사브타이바 바바는 티아누마네나 브라피타 바스투마트라 사드 파바흐 브라피타 바스투마트라 사드 파바흐 니로타 탈마 삼스카라흐 파리너 모타 지바나무 자시드 샤크티시짱 치트타시야 탈마 다샤나바지타흐 이티 The order of the sequence is the reason for the order of the mutations. If it be possible that a single substance has only a single mutation, then the order of the sequence is the cause of the order of the mutation. One finds, for example, clay in the form of dust, clay in the form of a lump, clay in the form of a water jar, clay in the form of potsherds, and clay in the form of small bits. It is in this sense that there is a sequence. Whenever one external aspect is immediately contiguous to another external aspect, it is sequenced with it. The lump falls away and the water jar comes into existence. It is in such cases that a sequence in the mutation of external aspects occurs. There is a sequence in the mutation of time variations. By reason of there being a future of the water jar, there is a sequence present. Likewise, by reason of there being a present of the lump, there is a sequence past. There is no sequence for the past. Why is this? When there is a relation of antecedent and sequent, there is an immediate contiguity, but this relation does not occur in the case of the past. Consequently, there is a sequence for two time variations only. There is nonetheless a sequence in the mutations of intensity, as when the oldness of a brand new water jar becomes evident first on its rim, and then manifesting itself in a sequence which conforms to the succession of moments, which is a complete phenomenal. This then is the third mutation, and it is other than the external aspect and the time variation. These same sequences become what they are, so long as the distinction between the substance and the external aspect holds. For the external aspect as such also can become the substance insofar as another external aspect is concerned. But since, strictly speaking, the same substance can be named external aspect by virtue of attributing to it an identity with the substance, therefore this sequence shines forth in consciousness as a unit only. The external aspects of the mind stuff are of two kinds, those that are perceived and those that are unperceived. Of these two, the perceived have as their essence presented ideas. Those that are unperceived have as their essence real things only. These latter are moreover just seven. By inference, the existence of as real things only is brought within reach. Restriction and right living and subliminal impressions and mutations in vitality and movements and power are external aspects of mind stuff excluded from sight. 아또 여기나 우빠뜨 따살 우빠뜨 따살바차 우빠뜨 따살바차 우빠뜨 따살바사타 우따뜨 따살바사타나시야 부푸뜨 시딸타 파티파트다예 부푸뜨 시딸 부푸뜨 시딸 타파티파트다예. I want to double check the spelling. I mean, character. Yep. Samyamasia Vishaya Upakoshvipiate Parino Matraya Samyama Dati Tanagata Jinyanam. Talmalakushano Basata Parino Meshu Samyama Dioginam Pavatyati Tanagata Jinyanam. Tarano Tiana Samatitraya Mekatra. Tarano Tiana Samatitraya Mekatra. Samyama Ukutahu Tena Parino Matrayam Sakushat Kriyam Sakushat Kriyamanamati Tanagata Jinyanam Deshu Sampadayati. From here on, the field of operation for the constraint by the yogin who has acquired all the means for the attainment of the desired object is discussed. As a result of constraint upon the three mutations, the knowledge of the past and the future. Yogins acquire knowledge of the past and of the future as a result of constraint upon the mutations of external aspects and of time variations and of intensities. Fixed attention and contemplation and concentration, 3 in 1, has been called constraint. By this, the three mutations directly experienced produce knowledge of the past and of the future in these. Shabudalta pratyayana mitaratara tya sat samkara sitap pravipaga samyamat sarvaputaru rutajiñanam. Shabudalta pratyayana mitaratara tya sat samkara sitap pravi. Shabudalta pratyayana mitaratara tya sat samkara sitap Shabudalta pratyayana mitaratara tya sat samkara stat pravipaga samyamat sarvaputaruta jinyanam. Shabudalta pratyayana mitaratara tya sat samkara stat 샤부당 타프라티아야나 미타레타라 티아사트 삼카라스타트 프라비파가 사마야 샤부당 타프라티아야나 미타레타라 티아사트 삼카라스타트. You know what? I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, I'm back. There we go. 샤부당 타프라티아야나 미타레타라 티아사트 삼카라스타트 프라비파가 사미야마트 살바푸 따루따지냐 나무 따트라 바그발 누에시베발 탑 바그발 누에시베발 바그발 누에시베발 타바티 슈로트람짱 테와니 파리노마 마트라 비쇼야마 트바니 파리노마 마트라 비쇼야마 트바니 파리노마 마트라 비쇼야마 바담 보날나다 누삼하라 무드틴 보날나다 누삼하라 무드틴일 부드틴일 보날나다 누삼하라 무드틴일 그라히야미티 발노 에까사마야 삼파바 에까사마야 삼파비트바트 파라스파라니 니라누구라 하트마나스테 에카사마야 에카사마야 삼파비트 에카사마야 삼파비트 바트 에카사마야 삼파비트 에카사마야 삼파비트 바 에카사마야 삼파비트 바 빠라스 빠라니구르 니라 누구라 하트마 나스테 에카사마야 삼파비트 바트 빠라스 빠라니라 에카사마야 삼파비트 바트 빠라스 빠라니라 누구라 하트마 나스테 마다마 삼스푸르시아누 바다마 삼스푸르시아누 파스타 비아 빌푸 따스 투투 따스토 따스티로 푸 따시자티 바다마 삼스푸르시아누 파스타 비아 빌푸 따스티로 푸 따시자티 브라디에카 마파다 스바루 브라디에카 마카다 브라디에카 마파다 스바루 바 웃지 않은데 브라디에카 마파다 스바루 바 웃지 않은데 발너허 보나레 까이까허 바다트마 살바 피타나 샤그디 브라치타허 사하사가파리 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티올 기트바드 바이시바루 비아미바 바느나흐 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 사하카리 발너는 브라티요 사하카리 발너는 따라 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 바드 바이시바루 비아미바 마빠느나흐 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 바드 바이시바루 비아미바 바느나흐 뭐뭐 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 바드 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 바드 바이시바루 비아미바 사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티요 기트 바드 바이시바루 비아미바 바느나흐. I wanna say this as if it's a one word. 살바피타나 샤그티 브라치타 살바피타나 샤그티 브라 살바피타나 샤그티 브라치타 허사하사 살바피타나 샤그티 브라치타 허사하카리 발너는 따라 브라티 요기트 바드 바이시바루 비아미바 바느나흐 볼바시 쪼따레 노 볼바시 쪼트 따레 노트 따시야 따라시죠 볼바시 쪼트 따레 노트 따라시죠 볼바시 쪼트 따레 노트 따라시죠 볼베너 비셔셔 바스타 피타 이티에밤 바하보 발너허 그라마누로티놀타 삼게테나 그라마누로티놀타 삼게테나 바치치는나 이하는따 에테 셀바피타나 샤그티 파리브리 셀바피타나 샤그티 파리브르따 까까라비 까까라오라 비살자 까까라오라 비살자니야 까까라오라 비살자니야 삼은 나디 많은따 말탐 삼스나디 사스나디 많은따 말탐 디오타야는 디디 따뜻해셔 말타 삼게테나 따데테쇼 말타 삼케테나 바지치는 나나 모빠 삼호르 따트바니 그라마놈 따데테쇼 말타 삼케테나 바지치는 나나 모빠 삼호르 따 사트바니 그라마놈 따데테쇼 말타 삼케테나 바지치는 나나 모빠 삼호르 따트바니 그라마놈 따데테쇼 말타 삼케테나 바치는 따뜻테쇼 말타 삼케테나 바치치는 나나 모빠 삼호르 따트바니 그라마놈 야 에꼬 부드티닐파 사트 따트 바담 부드티닐파 사스 따트 부드티닐파 부드티닐파 사트 부드티닐파 부드티닐파 사스 따트 바담 부드티닐파 사스 따트 바담 바자감 바지아시아 삼케티아테 따데감 바다메카 부드티비시 따다메카 부드티비쇼야 메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라티아트나 쿠시프타 마파가 마크라마 마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프라 마파가 마크라마 마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타 마파가 마크라마 마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타 바브라 시프타마 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 브라마 파가 마크라마 마마발넘 알케메카 에다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 마크라마 마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 마크라마 마마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 마크라마 마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타 파 시프타마 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 그라마마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 마프라마가 그라마마발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가 브라마가 파가마 그라마마 파가마 그라마마 파가마 그라마마 파가마 그라마마 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가마 그라마마 발넘 파가마 그라마마 발넘 파가마 그라마마 발넘 파가마 그라마마 발넘 파가마 그라마바 파가마 그라마마 발넘 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타마 파가마 브라마마 발넘 one more 따다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 바다메카 부드티비쇼야메카 브라야트나 쿠시프타 파가마 브라마마 발넘 one more 바다메가 부드 티비셔 야메가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 바다메가 부드 티비셔 야메가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 바다메가 부드 티비셔 야메가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 바다메가 부드 티비셔 야메가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 파가마 그라마마 발놈 바다메가 부드 티비셔 야메가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 오케이 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 one more 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 에가 브라야드나 고시부타마 파가마 그라마마 발놈 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 오케이 바우드 타마는 띠야 발너 브라티야 야키야 바로 바스타 피땀 바라트라 브라티피파다 유쇼야 왈너이라바 피티야마 나이흐 발너라바 피티야마 너이흐 발너이라바 피티야마 나이흐 Number 1 나이르그 루츠짱리야마 너이흐 루츠짱리야마 너이흐 루츠짱리야마 너이흐 루츠짱 루츠 나이 루츠 짱리야마 나이흐 마너이흐 짱리야마너이흐 마나이루츠 짱리야마너이흐 발너이레바 피티야마너이 루츠 루츠지라마너이 루츠 나이루츠 짱야마너이흐 발너이레바 피티야마나이루 루츠짱리야마너이흐 루츠짱리야마너이흐 발너이레바 피티야마나이 루츠짱리야 마너이흐 발너이레바 피티야마나이 루츠짱리야 발너이레바 피티야마나이 루츠짱리야 마너이흐 발너이레바 피티야마나이 루츠짱리야 마너이흐 슈루야마너이슈짱 슈루야마너이슈짱 슈로뜨르 피라나 디바그 비아바하라 바사나 누비드타야 슈로뜨르 피라나 디바그 비아바하라바사나 누비드타야 로카부드티야 시드타바트 삼프라티파트티야 프라티야테 타시야 삼게타부드티타흐 프라비파가 에타바타 메밤자티야코 누삼하라 에타바타 메밤자티야코 누삼하라 에카시알 타시야 에타시알 타시야 바자카 이티 삼케타스투 사루파흐 바다바당을 타요리 따레따라 티아루 스바루 베너 사루파흐 티아사 사루파흐 바다바달 타요리따 바다바달 타요리 따레따라 티아 사루파흐 바다바달 타요리 따레따 바다바달 타요리 따레따라 티아 사루파흐 스무르티아 뜨미꼬 요얌 샤브다흐 고야말토 요야말타흐 소얌 샤브다 이티 에바미타레따라 티아사루 에바미타레따라 티아사루 파흐 삼게토 파바티 이티 에바메테 샤부당 타파라티아야 이타레따라 티아사드 삼킬너 이따레따라 티아사드 삼킬너허 따디아타 길너허 가우리티 샤브도 가우리티 알토 가우리티 진여나무 야 에숑 브라비파 가지냐흐 사 살바비트 살바바데슈 장스티 바기야 샤크티브 쿠쇼 바기야 샤크티브 쿠쇼 이티우크 타스티티 가미아테 나 사트담 바달토 비아피자라티티 타타나 야사타나 그리야스티티 타타짱 타타 빠자티 띠우크테 살바카라카노 마쿠슈에포 살바카라카노 마쿠슈에포 니아말 토누바다흐 깔뜨르 깔마놈 자이트라그니 따는 두올라나미티 자이트라그니 따는 두올라나미티 들으셨담 짜 바기알테 바다라짜남 Number 1 바다바짜남 슈로뜨리야시 차는도 티때 슈로트리 야시 차는 도티 때 슈로트리 야시 차는 도티 슈로트리 야시 차는 도티 때 지바티 브라너는 타라야티 따트라 바키에 바다바 바다바달 바다바달 타피비아그티스 따따흐 바달 바다바달 타피비아그티스 따따흐 바달 타피비아그티스 따따흐 바담 브라비파지야 비아가라누이얌 그리야바작감 바 가라까바작감 바 아니야타 파바티아시조 보자 바야 파바티아시보자 바야 이티에바마디슈 나마키아타사루피아 다닐지냐담 나마키아타사루피아 다닐지냐담 까탐 그리야얌 까라케 바 비아그리야타티 대숑 샤부달 타프라티아야남 브라비파가흐 다디아타 시베타테 브라사다 이티 그리알타흐 시베타흐 브라사다 이티 가라갈타흐 샤부다흐 그리야가라가드마 따달타흐 브라티아 야시자 가스마트 소얌 비삼반타 소야미티아 비삼바는타 데까가라 소야미티아 비삼바는타 데까가 소야미티아 비삼바는타 데까가라 에바 소야미티아 비삼바는타 데까가라 에바 브라티아야흐 삼겠다 이띠 야수뚜 시베톨타흐 사 샤부다 브라티아야요라 샤부다 브라티아야요라 라문바니 부타흐 샤부다 브라티아야요라 라문바니 부타흐 사히 스바피라 스타필비 그리야마노 스바피라바스타 필비 그리야마노 스바피라바스타 필비 그리야마 스바피라바스타 필비 그리야마노 나 샤부다 사하가토 나 부드티 사하가타흐 에밤 샤부다 에밤 브라티아요 네타레타라 사하가타 이티아니아타 샤부도니아타 알토니아타 샤부도니아타 알타 타알토 샤부도니아타 알타니오 샤부도니아타 알토니아타 브라티아야 이티 비파가흐 에밤 따트바라비파가 사미야마 디오기나흐 살바푸 따루따지냐남 살바푸 따루따지냐남 삼바디아따 이티. Word and intended object and presented idea are confused because they are erroneously identified with each other by constraint upon the distinctions between them. Knowledge of the cries of all living beings. With regard to these, voice has its function, only the syllables, and the organ of hearing has as its object only that which has been mutated into a sound. But it is a mental process that grasps the word by seizing the letter sounds each in turn and binding them together. Sounds of syllables do not naturally aid each other, for they cannot coexist at the same time. Not having attained to the unity of a sound and not having, they become audible and they become inaudible. Hence it is said that individually lack the nature of a word. On the other hand, the syllables one by one may be said to have the essence of a word, as being filled with the power to furnish expressions for everything through their association with other syllables which also cooperate. And so they seem to pass into a multiplicity of forms. A preceding is mentally determined by the following and the following by the preceding to become a distinct and separate word. Thus a group of syllables follows in a sequence and is assigned by conventional usage to a intended object. Hence, though competent to indicate a great number of things, a certain number of these, whatever that number may be, makes object clear. For example, GOH, go, indicate thing with its dulab and other specific features. Hence, the unity which the mental process makes known out of these, determined as these are by conventional usage by a single intended object and seized and bound together into a fixed sequence of sounds, is the word. This unity, a word, is in every case the object of a single mental process and requires a single effort. It is a thing not having parts and not having a sequence. It does not consist of syllables. It is a thing of the mind and is brought into its functional by means of the presented idea of the final syllable sound. If a man wish to convey information to another, he must express himself by these same syllable sounds to which the others must listen. The hues of speech to which no beginning permeates the thinking substance of the ordinary man with subconscious impressions. Thus, as a result of common understanding, is thought to be something real in itself. It is owing to our knowing what this means in accordance with conventional usage that we attempt to divide it. Thus we say that the seizing in turn and binding together of this or that number of syllables in some such kind is a word expressive of a single intended object, but conventional usage is essentially by the memory. It is a kind of erroneous identification of the word and the thing signified, so that there is a confusion of the word with the intended object and of the intended object with the word. Here we see how conventional usage is a kind of erroneous identification of each with the other based upon memory. Thus it is that these, the word cow and the intended object cow and the presented idea cow, get confused because erroneously identified with one another. But he who recognizes these three as quite distinct is the knower of all. Furthermore, every word has the power to express a sentence. Thus, when we utter the word tree, we imply that it exists, for no intended object of a word can lack existence. Similarly, no action expressed is possible without the means of attaining. And so when we utter the word cooks, certain relations which are later expressly mentioned are supplied to specify the meaning. Thus we may mention the manjaidra as the agent, rice as the object, and fire as the means of the action. We observe also that words are so constructed as to give the meaning of the sentence. Thus a reader is one who recites Vedas. Thus if we say lives, we mean keeps the breath of life. In this sentence there is a manifestation of the meaning of words, but to determine whether a particular word denotes an action or some relation, and analyze its formation by making distinctions. Without such an many a word such as Pabati or Ashva or Ajapayahu would remain ambiguous because as regards its outer form it might be analyzed either as a noun or as a verb. There's a distinction between these words and intended object and presented ideas. To illustrate this, the palace whitens. Here the action is meant. The white palace. Here a relation is meant. The word is in essence both an action and a relation, and the termination conveys these meanings of. But why is this so? Because this is identified with that, so that in conventional usage the presented idea one and the same, but the white intended object is that which becomes the thing upon which the word and the presented idea depend. For this, by reason of its own intensities, passes through evolved forms, and does not correspond to the word, nor to the mental process. Similarly, the word and similarly the presented idea do not correspond the one with the other. The word changes in one way, the intended object in another way, and the presented idea in another way. Thus there is a distinction, and so it happens that by constant constraint upon this distinction, a yogin attains knowledge of the cries of all creatures. I think I'm done with the sutras for today, so I did up to 17. Okay. Taking a little break. Okay, so I'm gonna finish with Bhagavad Gita, which is now my favorite. It's the easiest for me. It's one of the hardest books to read in the entire Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata. Sorry, Mahabharata. But the Bhagavad Gita is just a short little chapter or book, whatever you call it, within Mahabharata. It's chapter what? Sorry. Chapter 13. Hmm. 35 verses long, medium sized. Could probably do this in about 20 minutes with the English translation. Namaste Atan Trayodashotyayah Kushwatara Jinya Kushwatara Jinya Vipaga Yogaha Arjuna Uvacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kushwatara Jinyameva Cha Etad Veditu Michachami Jinyanam Jinyayam Cha Keshava Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Shariram Kaunanteya Kushwatara Mitya Piti Yate Etadio Patati Tam Prahuha Kushwatarajinya Iti Tadavidaha Kushwatarajinyam Chapi Mam Viditi Saivakashwatreshu Parata Kushwatara Jinyayol Kushwatara Jinyayol Jinyanam Yatataji Jinyanam Matam Mama Tatukashwataram Yachacha Yadurikacha Yadavikari Yatashacha Yat Sa Cha Yo Yat Prapha Bashacha Tata Samasana Me Shurano Rashipilbahu Rashipilbahuta Kitam Chanando Pilbibi Taiha Burtak Brahma Sutra Padaisha Jaiba Hetumada Pilbini Brahma Sutra Padaisha Jaiba Hetumada Pilbini Shichitaiha Mahaputanya Hangangaro Buddhitiravya Gatameba Jam Inindriyanui Tashaikam Jam Pancha Jandriya Gocharaha Ichicha Tuveshaha Sukham Tuhakam Sanganka Dashichatana Trutiha Etatakushwatram Samasana Sabikara Muda Hurtama Amanit Vamada Pamadamampi Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Amanit Vamadamampi Bat Amanit Vada Pamada Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Amanit Vamada Damampita Vamahimsa Amanit Vamadamampi Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Amanit Vada Pamada Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Amanit Vamadamampi Amanit Vamadamampi Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Amanit Vamadamampi Vamahimsa Usho Nantira Jabama 아짜리오바사남 샤오짬 스타일리아마드마미 스타일리아마드마 비니그라하흐 스타일리아마드마 비니그라하흐 이는들이야 태슈 바이라기야마하 마나항은 바이라기야마나항은 까라 에바짜 자는마 모르티유 자라 비야 디투 두허카 도셔 누다샤나무 자는마 모르티유 자라 비야 디투허카 도셔 자는마 모르티유 자라 비야 디투허카 도셔 누다샤나무 자는마 모르티유 자라 자는마 모르티유 자라 비야 디 자는마 모르티유 자라 자는마 모르티유 자라 비야 디투허카 도셔 누다샤나무 아사그티라 나피 쉐방응 아사그티라나 아사그티라나 피시방응 아사그티라나 아사그티라나 피시방응 가흐 부트라다 라그르하 부트라다 라그르하 디슈 니티암 짱 사마치트 따트바 미슈트 니슈토 사마치트 따트바 사마체트 따트바 미슈트 니슈토 파파티슈 사마체트 따트바 미슈트 니슈토 사마체트 따트바 미슈트 니슈토 파파티슈 사마체트 따트바 미슈트 사마체트 따트바 미슈트 니슈토 파파티슈 마이 자나니아 요게나 파크티라비아 피자 파크티라비아 피자리누이 비비크타 데샤 사비트 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 딜자나 삼사디 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 딜자나 삼사디 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 딜자나 삼사디 비비크타 데샤 사비트 바마라 딜자 삼사디 딜자나 삼사디 비비크타 데샤 사비트 사마라 딜자나 삼사디 아티야 드마지냐 나니티야 드밤 따뜻드바지냐 나 알타달샤나무 에따지지냐 나미티 브로크타마지냐 남 야다돈야타 지냐얌 야트따트 브라바쿠슈여미 야지지냐 드바 모르타마슈누테 아나디마트바람 브라후마 나 사드타는 나 사두지아테 살바타흐 바누이 바담 따트 살바토쿠슈이 시로무카무 살바타흐 슈루티마르로케 살바마 브르티아 드시타티 살베는드리아 구너 바삼 살베는드리아 비발지땀 아사그땀 살바프르츠 짜이바 닐구넘 구너 포그트르 짜 바히라는 따시짜 부다나 마짜람 짜라메바 짜 수크시마트바 뜨다다 수크시마트바 뜨다다비 수크시마트바 뜨다다비 지냐얌 수크시마트바 뜨다다비 지냐얌 두라스탐 짜는 띠게 짜 따뜨 아비파크담 짜 부대슈 비파크담이바 짜 스티땀 부다팔트르 짜 야지지냐얌 따지지냐얌 그라세슈누어 브라파비슈누어 Brahma Vishnu Jam Jyotishwamapi Daji Tamasaha Paramuchyate Jinyanagamiam Hurudi Saibasya Vishutuitam Iti Kushwataram Tata Jinyayam Chokutam Samasataha Madhupagata Etad Vijinyaya Madhupaba Yopapadiate Prakritim Purusham Jaiva Vidityanadi Upavapi Vikaram Shicha Gunam Shichaiva Viditi Prakriti Samam Pavan Prakriti Samam Pavan Karyakarana Kalturutve Hetuha Prakriti Ruchiate Purushaha Sukatuhakanam Pokuturutve Heturuchiate Purushaha Prakritisto Hi Pungakate Prakriti Janangunana Karanam Gunasangan Sadasadioni Janan Masu Upadrashita Numananta Ja Palta Pokta Maheshvaraha Paramatmati Ja Pyukuto Tehasaminan Purushaha Paraha Ya Evam Petati Purusham Prakritim Ja Gunoiha Saha Saibata Paltamanopi Na Sa Pujayate Dhyanenatmani Pashyananti Kechidatmanamatmana Anye Sangankyena Yogena Kalma Yogena Cha Pare Anye Tibevama Jananantaha Shurutmanya Pya Upasate Tapi Jatitaranantyeva Murutiyum Shruti Parayanoha Yavat Sanjayate Kinchit Satitvam Sitabara Sitabara Jangamama Kushwatara Jinya Samyoga Tadaviditi Partashapam Samam Sarveshu Puteshu Tishutanandam Parameshvarama Nyashatis Vabina Vinashatis Vabinashyanandam Yaha Pashyati Sa Pashyati Samam Pashyananhi Saibatra Saibapasatitami Shivarama Na Inasatyaatmanam Tato Yati Param Katim Prakrutyaiva Cha Kalmanui Kriyamanani Saivashaha Yaha Pashyati Tathatmanamakkalta Tathatmanamakkaltaram Sa Pashyati Yada Putapurataga Pavamekasata Manupashyati Putapurataga Pava Mekasata Manupashyati Putapurataga Pava Mekasata Manupashyati Tata Eva Cha Visitaram Brahma Samanpadyate Tada Anaditvan nilgunatvan paramatma yamabhyayaha. Anaditvan nilgunatvan paramat. Anaditvan nilgunatvan paramat. Anaditvan nilgunatvan. Anaditvan nilgunatvan paramatma yamabhyayaha. Sharirasatopi kaunanteya na karoti na lipiate yatha saivagatam saukushimiyada kasham nopalipiate saivatra vasatito tehe tatha tema nopalipiate yatha prakashayatiekah kurutasanam lokamimam rabiha Kushwataram Kushwatari Tatha Kurutasanam Prakashayati Parata Kushwatara Jinya Yoreva Manantaram Kushwatara Jinya Yoreva Manantaram Jinya Nachakushushu Bhuta Prakriti Mokusham Cha Ye Viduriyananti te paramu Tatusaditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatusu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Kushwatara Vijinya Jinya Kushwatara Jinya Vipaga Yogo Nama Darayodasho Tyayaha. Namaste. I'll take a quick break before reading the translation. Okay, I'm going to quickly read it and then be done with it. Arjuna said, O Keshava, I wish to understand what are Prakriti and Purusha, and what are Kushwatara and Kushwatara Jinya. I wish to know what is true knowledge, and what is the goal of this knowledge. The Holy One said, This body, O son of Kunti, is called Kushwatara. Him who knoweth it, the learned call Kushwatara Jinya. Know me, O Parata, to be Kushwatara Jinya in all Kushwataras. The knowledge of Kushwatara and Kushwatara Jinya I regard to be knowledge. What that Kushwatara is, and what that is, what like, and what changes it undergoes, and whence, what is he, and what his powers, hear from me in brief. All this hath in many ways been sung separately by rushes in various verses, in well-settled texts brought with reason and giving indication of Brahman. The great elements, egoism, intellect, the unmanifest. Also the 10 senses, the 1, the 5 objects of sense, desire, aversion, pleasure, pain, body, consciousness, courage. All this in brief have been declared to be Kushwatara in its modified form. Absence of vanity, absence of ostentation, abstention from injury, forgiveness, uprightness, devotion to preceptor, purity, constancy, self-restraint, indifference to objects of sense, absence of egoism, perception of the misery and evil of birth, death, decrepitude, and disease, freedom from attachment, absence of sympathy for son, wife, home and the rest, and constant equanimity of heart, unattainment of good and evil, unswerving devotion to me without meditation on anything else, frequenting of lonely places, distaste for concourse of men, constancy in the knowledge of the relation of the individual self to the Supreme, perception of the object of the knowledge of truth. All this is called knowledge. All that which is contrary to this is ignorance. That which is the object of knowledge I will declare, knowing which one obtaineth immortality. The Supreme Brahma, having no beginning, who is said to be neither existent nor non-existent, whose hands and feet are on all sides, whose eyes, heads, and faces are on all sides, who hears from all sides, who dwells pervading everything in the world, who is possessed of all the qualities of the senses, devoid of the senses, without attachment, sustaining all things, without attributes, enjoying attributes, without and within all creatures, immobile and mobile, not knowable because of subtlety, remote yet near, undistributed in all beings, remaining as if distributed, who is the sustainer of beings, the absorber and the creator, who is the light of all luminous bodies, who is said to be beyond all darkness, who is knowledge, the object of knowledge, the end of knowledge, and seated in the hearts of all. Thus Kushvatara, and knowledge and the object of knowledge have been declared in brief. My devotee, knowing this, attaineth to assimilation with me. Know that nature and spirit are born without beginning. Know that all modifications and all qualities spring from nature. Nature is said to be the source of the workings of causes and effects. Spirit is said to be the source of the capacity of enjoying pleasures and pains. For spirit dwelling in nature enjoyeth the qualities born of nature. The cause of its births in good or evil wombs is connection with the qualities. The Supreme Purusha in this body is said to be surveyor, approver, supporter, enjoyer, the mighty Lord, and also the Supreme Soul. He who thus knows spirit and nature with the qualities, in whatever state he may be, is never born again. Some by meditation behold the self in the self by the self, others by devotion according to the Sankhya system, and others by devotion through works, others yet, not knowing this worship, hearing of it from others. Even these, devoted to what is heard, cross over death. Whatever entity, mobile or immobile or mobile, cometh into existence, know that of Bulaparata's race, to be from the connection of Kushatara and Kushatarajnya. He seeth who seeth the Supreme Lord dwelling alike in all beings, the imperishable in the perishable. For seeing the Lord dwelling alike everywhere, one doth not destroy himself by himself, and then reacheth the highest goal. He seeth who seeth all actions to be wrought by nature, alone in every way, and the self likewise to be not the doer. When one seeth the diversity of entities as existing in one, and the issue from that, then is one said to attain to Brahma, this inexhaustible Supreme Self, O son of Kunti, being without beginning and without attributes, doth not act, nor is stained even when stationed in the body. As space which is ubiquitous is never, in consequence of its subtlety, tainted, so the soul, stationed in every body, is never tainted. As a single sun lights up this entire world, so the spirit of Bharata lights up the entire matter. They that by the eye of knowledge know the distinction between matter and spirit, and the deliverance from the nature of all entities, attain to the Supreme. Namaste. That's it. Thank you. Have a good day.